I just have some simple seasonings here. There's garlic powder, chili powder, a salt-free chipotle seasoning that I get from Target. And then also I have some Cajun spice, and I will add a little bit of salt and black pepper as well. And that's pretty much it. Just simple seasonings, whatever you have on hand. There's also paprika. I'm not sure if I mentioned paprika. I pretty much put paprika in almost everything that I cook, so there's some in there as well. And then just my rice. This is just half a cup of tomato puree. I just buy them in jars, and then I can just add it into whatever I'm cooking. I like to use that for chili as well, so that it's not super chunky, because my kids don't like it that way. So this is really good because it's just pure tomato and it's already done for you, and it's pureed, and that's all it is. That's all the ingredients. And then you add your own seasonings. And then also the salt and pepper. This is just a mix that I have, Himalayan salt and pepper, and you can add that if you want to, or leave it out if you are completely salt-free. So 3 cups of the brown rice, 6 cups of water, half a cup of the tomato puree, make sure your valve is on sealing, and then I just click the rice setting. I'm going to actually put less time though. So yeah, normal and rice setting, 12 minutes, that's perfect. Because I'm doing 3 cups of rice. If I was doing less rice, then I would decrease the time. So I got these pea shoots in my organic delivery box. And I just love adding these to my salads. Before I was doing the Mary's Mini and I was having sandwiches, I would add this to my greens as well. It just gives really nice flavor, and I love the health benefits as well as the microgreens. Yeah, so you know what? I really like how they send me just like a whole pot, and then I just put it into my ceramic pot that I always keep on hand. I have this one, an orange one. That way, whenever I have the microgreens, I've got somewhere cute to place them. And then I'm just having my morning coffee, and yeah, coffee hasn't grossed me out yet, but on the Potato Mini, it was day 3 that coffee started grossing me out. I still can't go back to the dark roast, so this is just a very mild coffee, kind of watered down and dull, but it's what I'm craving right now. People that know me are just like shocked because they know I love my dark roast coffee. So this morning I just have some extra green beans, so I just put them in this little container, so I'll have that. And then I also have extra rice pudding that I made, so I can warm up that and add some extra cinnamon and just enjoy that for breakfast. It's almost 11 o'clock, so that's usually when I have breakfast. And at least I have some leftovers that I can eat, and then I'll see if I'm still hungry. If I am, then I do have extra rice that's cooked up in the fridge, and I'll have that as well. So yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of beans, but maybe I can just cook up some extra right now. So it actually turned into a pretty good portion once I took it out of the container. Pretty decent, and then I added some extra organic cinnamon to it, and that's what my breakfast is going to be. Some rice pudding, and again, as you saw, I made it in the pressure cooker just using water and organic cinnamon. So I had a few extra of these jars that I love because I can actually write what's in it, if it's like baking powder, baking soda, that kind of thing, because I buy it in bulk. But since I have all this rice that I need to use up, because we bought that huge bag, I filled a bunch of these containers, and I also filled some larger ones, and that way it's just easy and I can just grab it and make my rice. I feel like this will make my life a little easier having them in jars, and I'm just going to keep one on the counter. So I'm just using plain rice paper wraps, popping them in water, and they're going to soften up. Once it's soft enough, I'm going to add some of this broccoli, slaw, and cabbage mix. Also, I have a cabbage and kale mix as well, so I'm going to add all of that in. And then I do have spinach, so I'm going to add some spinach as well. So here is the spinach I'm going to be using. So it's soft enough. I'm just going to transfer it to this plate. It kind of ripped a bit when it was still dry, but I'm still going to use it up. So, and then just add some of this. It's going to be a little tricky because it is ripped, but I'm going to make it work. And it just takes a second and it kind of seals once you just kind of stick it. Okay, that's one. Oh, I see. They all kind of broke a little bit, but whatever, I'm still gonna use it. I just have to be careful with it, and it just makes it a little trickier to wrap up, but they'll be fine. So that's what it looks like inside the water, and it's just going to soften up. I put warm water in this little dish, and then once they're soft, you can start filling them and wrapping them up. So it's not too bad. As you can see, even though it was ripped, I could do a better job wrapping it. Let's see if the next one is any better. So it's not super complicated, as you can see, super easy. They might not look perfect because I'm not the best at wrapping them, but I mean, my wrappers are also broken. Considering they're broken, you can still use them. You just have to be really gentle with them and probably just don't overstuff them. You can use any kind of vegetable that you have on hand. I like to put bell peppers in, but I don't have any, so I'm just going to use what I have. And since I have a lot of spinach and a lot of this mix with the kale and the cabbage, that's what I'm going to use. And that's it. You just soak it, and I'm using a cutting board because I feel like it's a little easier to wrap them up on a cutting board. And that's it. So this is the final product. They're just all wrapped up. Whatever veggies you have on hand. These are rice paper wraps. Super simple, and you can use up all the leftover veggies that you have. So this is another great meal to have while on the Mary's Mini. And then I just have a little bit of soy sauce here. Not a huge soy sauce fan, so I'm just gonna maybe lightly dip it in, or I have a feeling I'm just gonna end up eating them plain because I'm not, again, a huge soy sauce fan. But you are allowed light condiments while on the Mary's Mini, so I've added that. So I'm going to munch on these.